This is the MGM 1 month overview reading for the month of May 2023. It's currently April 24th, 2023, 10:53 p.m. Eastern Time. The shuffle file for the MGM May reading was created on April 4th, 2023 at 10:22 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this file right here. In the overall theme of behavior for the month, we have a period of volatility that ends with a fast sudden move higher. It's crossed with 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level, confirming a bullish trend. Behavior around the highest high, we're looking for a sharp drop that'll stand out on a 1 month chart off of a highest price level. That'll indicate a highest high, most likely. And then behavior around the lowest low, we have a sideways fluctuating incline, a sideways fluctuating rally, kind of like a sideways fluctuating rally that precedes a decline. Before we go any further, let's take a look and see how we're doing on the 1 year thus far. So if you've never seen a 1 year, guys, the way that we read the 1 years is each of these clusters of 4 cards represents generalized energies of the month. So you have January, February, March, April, May, June as you go across the top. And then as you go from left to right across the bottom, you've got July, August, September, October, November, December, right? So this cluster right here, we have low correlation. So prominent lows on a 1 year scale are the stars, the red stars, and you can see we have a prominent low on a 1 year scale here, with quite a bit of bullishness to a month's high towards the end of the month. Significant trade opportunity in the beginning of the month and the end of the month here for February, with an unexpected and improbable move to reach the high, an important price level on a 1 year chart kind of scale for the month's low. And you can see how the month's low is kind of like ends up being an important support level on a 1 year kind of scale, or a year to date kind of scale. And the high for the month, it actually, like, we were at a low almost and we went straight to the high, right? And you can see we have quite a lot of movement into a resistance level here, but an unexpected, improbable move, followed by another trough at the end of the month, and then an unexpected move to the upside, or not an unexpected move, but a big move to the upside, standing out on a year-to-date chart there right at the end of the month. We have a lowest low in March, so my sense is that I'm clearly off on the lowest low, but this is still a pretty deep low. My sense is that this may be the lowest low here, but moving forward, we should see this low, like, this should be like the next lowest low. Let me take a closer look here. And then we have some tricky chart behavior at the end of the month. So this is looking pretty solid. This is a pretty substantial low that stands out. We have a prominent low here. What we would see in April is a prominent high within close proximity to a low. And you can see we've already got a prominent high on a 1 year scale here in April with a failed attempt to break through key resistance. We should have multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance moving out of here. But in early April, we had the halting of a bullish trend marked by a sharp decline through key support. And you can see this is pretty solid, guys. We should see a high in July based on that. And with that said, on the 1 year, we've got for May, we've got a crest that we sell off from. The high takes us to a prominent crest, prominent trough for the month, for the year. The month's high is within close time proximity to a prominent trough for the year. It looks like possibly in the third, we have a trough in the third week and a high in the third or fourth week, with a bit of a rally early on in the month. That's what I'm seeing on the 1 year. Let's get back into the 1 month, basically. And there you have the full shuffle file completed. On the first, we have a prominent, and also, guys, when you're doing a 1 month, you have to keep in mind not every energy is going to line up perfectly with a day. Like, some of these cards we'll need to give it a little bit of wiggle room. Most of it will line up pretty well. Sometimes you'll need a little wiggle room. So what you're looking for is the sequence of events. The sequence of events is very reliable. And so what we have on the first is the establishment of support along key support level on a 1 month scale and a big move to the upside standing out on a 1 month chart. On the third, we have 3 pokes through the same price level followed by a sharp decline. And excuse me, that was the second. 3 pokes through the same price level followed by a sharp decline. On the third, we have a prominent crest or peak that'll stand out on a 1 month chart, and a resistance level, an important resistance level on a 1 month chart at least standing out there. We have a big decline into a prominent trough as well towards the end of the day there. So a lot of price change from a crest or peak into a trough there. And then the following day on the 4th, we have there may be some news about a merger or acquisition of some kind here. It's possible there's some news here on the 3rd, 4th. Either that or there's like an agreement between 2 leaders that's highlighted, or we have a period of volatility with like a pop and drop in it. All of that could transpire there on the 4th. With another, it looks like day's low at the end of the day on the 4th. On the 5th, we have an important range on a 1 month scale at least that's highlighted. Looks like it's a multi-day range scale range, and it looks like it's to the bottom there. We might see like a lowest low there on the 3rd, 4th. But there would have to be a lot of price change to get from a prominent crest down to a lowest low, but it's possible that we see a lowest low there. Highest probability though is going to be on the 12th, is my sense. In any case, we looks like we open slightly higher on the 8th, and there's a period of sideways rotation that ends with a fast sudden move higher. Yeah, there might be like a secondary low somewhere in here, like on the 3rd, 4th, or here on the 8th. But the main low I think is on the 12th. Although these could be areas where we see it again. Do we see it again? No, we don't see it again. But there'll be notable lows here. And about midday we have a prominent crest on the 8th, and then it's back to a trough. On the 9th, we have a prominent move higher standing out on a 1 month chart, followed by a full retracement of that move back down, making like a kind of triangular shape on a chart. On the 10th, we have a prominent trough on the 1 month scale, a big move to the upside, standing crossing through resistance, staying above it briefly, and then breaking back down through that same price level shortly thereafter. And then on the 11th, we have a big move to the upside, pushing the upper end of a range higher. It looks like early in the day, especially there's a big move. And then on the 12th, we have a U-shaped dip that forms near the intersection of 2 perpendicular diagonal trend lines, and most likely location of a lowest low for the month. On the 15th, we likely open higher at a peak or crest, prominent peak or crest early in the day. On the 15th, there's the completion of a rally there on the 15th. So we probably decline at the end of the day there on the 15th. On the 16th, we might have a gap up to another peak or crest, prominent peak or crest there early in the day on the 16th. Significant cash out opportunity there as well, which we'll get into in the paid version. Oh, guys, if you're interested in the paid version, the way that you get the paid version, it's a really great way to support the channel, guys. And if you're utilizing the 1 month for the MGM, I highly recommend being one of the people that signs up for this, because if we don't get any, I mean, if nobody signs up for it, if nobody subscribes for the MGM, we'll just stop doing the MGM. I mean, if nobody wants it. But if you're interested in it, then you should go to the MGM, click here, subscribe, and that really supports the channel. It gets you access to all the MGM readings for 30 days, and it recurs at the end of the month. Much appreciated to everybody that goes about doing that. The channel does really need some support right now, so thank you very much. Back to the reading. All right, a notable move. So like somewhere between the 16th and the 17th, there's a bit of a rally along a diagonal trend line, but that rally ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line. It looks like a notable decline on a 1 month scale there, probably starting midday on the 17th. A gap down over on the 18th with a big move higher, standing out on a 1 month chart there on the 18th out of oversold territory or to fill a previous gap down. A big move higher, and then somewhere between that big move higher on the 18th and another notable move higher on the 19th, there's a little bit of a decline. Then most likely the futility card is a big move out of a decline, and we have a prominent crest or peak towards the end of the day. We open at another prominent crest or peak on the 22nd, and there's a notable decline on a 1 month scale standing out, increasing with momentum moving forward in time there on the 22nd. There's either a gap up on the 23rd or an early morning rally that takes us to an opportunity, which I'll talk about in more detail in the paid version. It's a rally along a diagonal trend. It looks like there's a rally along a diagonal trend line breaking through horizontal resistance, meeting a secondary resistance, and then pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. That diagonal trend line takes us into an important or a prominent crest on a 1 month scale there on the 23rd. On the 24th, we have a rally that offers an opportunity, a trade opportunity we'll get into in the paid version, but there's also a prominent trough there. So between the crest on the 23rd and the highest high on the 25th, we see like a little bit of a dip. On the 25th, we have an overbought crest or peak and most likely location of a highest high. We sell off from there through multiple support levels on a 1 month scale. There's a trade opportunity there as well. And on the 22nd, we have a notable move up through resistance on a 1 month scale. We stay above it briefly, and then we have a full retracement of that move back down to where the move up started, back down through that price level. So it makes like a capital A in the English language when you have like the horizontal price level as the horizontal line through the A. Markets closed on the 29th. We probably close at a low on the 26th. Market closed on the 29th. I'm advised to be cautious there on the 30th. Multiple false tops or bottoms. Probably a false top, but multiple false tops there and some tricky chart behavior on the 30th. On the 31st, we have a decline that ends with a fast sudden move higher. That fast sudden move higher takes us to another peak or crest. Matter of fact, that decline might be from off of a peak or crest we have on the 30th. And then there's a fast sudden move higher around the cusp of the 30th or the 31st that takes us to another prominent peak or crest for the month. The sneak preview for the following month of fast sudden move higher, especially early on in the month. And that's MGM for the month of May 2023. Stay tuned for the paid version, my friends. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, my friends, make sure to follow that rule of karma. You do so here at the resources tab of our website. 5% of the profits back to the channel. Much appreciated for your much needed support. And 5% of the profits forward to one of these charities. Make sure that flow of abundance continues onward through the universe. That leaves you with 90% to spend on whatever you want to spend it on. Just make sure you spend it out of love, and the universe will send it back to you tenfold from all directions, my friends. I'll see you on the next one.